It's nice to see you guys again. Last week, we introduced technology in our class. Do you guys remember what technology we used? Yes. I'm glad you remembered. It was Google Docs. And the book that we used was The Outsiders. That's perfect. So we're going to be doing that again. I want you to this time, we're not going to talk about the chapters. Instead, we're going to talk about the book as a whole from the chapters we've read so far. So before we begin, I would like to talk about what we need for today's class. Of course, we'll need the computers, a copy of The Outsiders, and Google Docs, and a special template that I made for us today. Once you guys have that out, we'll get ready for our lesson objectives. So as always, I'd like to present us our lesson objectives. They're here to tell us what we're going to do for the class, and I hope that you're listening right now. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to demonstrate your reading comprehension skills. How are we going to do that? We're going to break down different plot elements of a book. What are the plot elements? No one knows? That's what I'm here for. We'll move on to that soon, but for now we have to keep continuing our lesson. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to practice your writing skills, because we're going to create a story chart consisting of those same plot elements with a template that I provided. And lastly, we're going to use Google Docs for collaborative learning and individual work. So, this will be the second time we're using Google Docs. Sooner or later, by the end of this class, you will be very proficient in it. So as a warm-up, let's go talking about what happened to our last lesson. Can someone tell me, what did we learn how to do and why was it so important? Yes. Yes, we spent time summarizing the chapter. That's perfect. And why is it so important? Because we want to understand what the chapter is going to be about as a whole. Details are important, but we have to understand the main idea of the chapter in order to create a consistent story. It's perfect. So, after this, I want you guys to divide to the same groups of 4 we did last week. I'm going to present us the plot elements template. Open your computers because it will be on the screen. Let's move on to the TV. Just a little introduction to Google Docs. All of us will be sharing the same template because one of the best things is that we are able to use one template to get all the responses from the people in our class. We can add comments, we can delete what we don't like, we can discuss over the class. So please make sure that you work through this well, because we will be using Google Docs in the future. One thing I forgot to mention at the end of our guided practice is to write down a 3-sentence summary of what's happened in the book so far. Right now we should be at chapter 5. This is something that you can do with your group. I'd like you to choose 3 sentences. That's all. And once you're done, you have to showcase this. One thing I forgot to mention in the guided practice I would like you to do is to write a 3-sentence summary of what has happened in the book so far. So, what chapter are we on? Can someone tell me? Yes. Yes, we are in chapter 5. It needs to be at least 3. But if there's more that you would like to add, feel free to do that. At the end, please present me this information to my desk. And then we have one last assignment that we have to do. As a final assessment, I want at least one group member from each group to present the information that they got on their plot elements chart. You only need to be up for 2 minutes describing the characters, the setting, the personality, and the conflict. And once you're done, I have 2 questions for you that you need to write down on a piece of paper. How do the story elements work together to create a compelling narrative? How does everything combine into a whole and give us a wonderful story? And how might the story be different if told from another character's perspective? So you've spent time reading the story. Now, give a thought about what could have happened if the story was focused on someone else. Once you're done, you showcase that to me, and then that'll be the end of the class. I will see you guys next time.